with 6 celebrities. And they have waltzed, tangoed and quick-stepped in competition on the dance floor.
That was fantastic!
What a mess that was.
I just love you.
At the end of the day, we're looking for someone to represent our country in the European Championships, and that is not good enough.
Strictly Come Dancing's Brian Fortuna trained the couples and taught them the strict rules of ballroom.
That was an embarrassment. Don't let that happen again.
Emotions have run high as they said goodbye to one couple each week. And in last week's show, the panel of 3 judges chose their winner.
The couple that we would like to see dance at the European Championships is James and Caroline.
James O'Shea and TV presenter Caroline Flack will now become the UK's first ever representatives at the Wheelchair Dance Sport European Championships.
Watch me now!
Tonight, we'll catch up with all the wheelchair users and we'll follow James and Caroline to Israel as they take on the best in the world.
The girls are so good.
We'd be really lucky to get through to the semis straight away.
James would be lucky if we beat anybody.
And for Caroline, the competition's more intense than she ever imagined.
This is some people's sport all their lives. They put everything into this. And this is the first time it's made me feel like that.
James and Caroline have 6 weeks to prepare for the European Championships.
Hey! The champions!
The champion maker.
What's up, James? I was a little bit worried about the amount of time and amount of effort that they were going to put into it because it takes a tremendous amount of work to go and compete at the European Championships.
Hi.
Brian wants them to know just how strong the competition is going to be.
So, let's start off by taking a look at some of the footage from the last year's competition.
Wow, they go straight in from one to the other. There's no break between...
No, there will be a break. So what'll happen is you're going to dance 5 dances in the Latin. You're going to have about 30 to 40 seconds, maybe, in between each dance. This is a lot harder than everything else that you've been doing, guys. This is a different level. It's a completely different world, and it's very, very difficult. It's cutthroat, and it's hard work. What I'd like you to do is feed off of the energy from the other couples. But don't start comparing yourself. Don't worry about them. As soon as you start thinking about everyone else that you're against, you're putting your mental energy someplace it doesn't need to be. The only thing you need to think about is this beautiful young lady you're dancing with. The only thing you need to think about is this half-good-looking guy that you're dancing with. I love you guys, and I wish you all the luck in the world and make us proud. And I'm
I've seen the finals at the last European Championships. Wow, they're tight. They're amazing.
We can be tight.
I know we can be tight, yeah.
It was the first time I'd seen the standard of the European Championships. I'm not that nervous yet. I feel like everyone wants me to be more nervous. I feel like Brian wants me to be more nervous. I feel like James wants me to be more nervous.
Right.
Bye, Brian.
But I'm not. I'm quite excited.
Are James and Carolyn ready for the competition right now? Absolutely not. They got a long ways to go. But I see a look in their eyes. I feel like they're excited, and I feel like that's going to have an impact on how hard they train.
Brian has to train for Strictly Come Dancing, so he's arranged for James and Caroline to have lessons with some of the best choreographers in Britain.
5, 2, 3, 4.
But just a week into their training, there's a problem.
What I've gone and done is pulled a tendon in my big toe. And then I carried on dancing on it. And the injury seems to have crawled up to my knee. So it seems to be getting worse, which is not good. But it's not the end of the world. And obviously, I don't want to complain about an injury like this when I'm dancing with someone who hasn't got any legs, because it could be a lot worse.
It's frustrating for James, who wants to do well in Israel.
The goal is, you know, to win it, but realistically, they've been doing it for 10 years, and we've been doing it for 5 weeks.
The competition is just 5 weeks away, and Caroline is having to sit out today's session. And James is not convinced the laid-back approach will bear fruit.
Have we got enough time
What?
to get up to a standard of people who've been doing it for 10 years?
I think we shouldn't put too much pressure on ourselves.
OK, oil on your foot.
Or on my foot. I know this is a serious competition, but I think with our attitude of that's what we are, can't change
Have
who
a
we
laugh.
are.
having a laugh, looking like we're having a good time, you know, having that connection with each other. I think that's what we're about, and I think the judges might like that.
Caroline heads to a physio to have her foot checked out.
Good evening, how are you? Nice to meet you. Come in, I'm John Harris.
I'm Caroline.
Come through, take a seat, Caroline.
John Harris has toured with Kylie and seen every dance injury going.
Pop your boots off, have a seat back on there. Just swing your legs up for me.
I'm so sorry, you have to touch my feet.
Oh, don't be silly, we have to touch a lot worse, I promise you. Just going to pull this a little bit. Painful.
That's exactly that there. That's where it hurts, all around there.
Yeah, well, you can see it is swollen there.
Yeah.
That's effusion, there's fluid in there. Sorry.
I'm gonna hit you.
That's all right, I'm used to it.
Oh, that's the worst.
If I do this, does that still hurt?
Yeah.
Tell me if this is painful.
That's not too bad. That's not too... It's there. It's when it pulls out.
I think initially you twisted the toe and maybe the next joint toe and did some ligament damage. You then start walking poorly because of that. And as you've tried to carry on, you've just inflamed all the soft tissue in there. We haven't got time on our side. You've got the competition coming up. You've got to keep practicing. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat the problem, strap your foot up to give it some support so that it still gets a certain amount of respite, if you like, from the load that you're putting through it.
This does look excessive. No, it actually feels quite nice. Yeah, it feels like a constant... Someone's doing that. I think this will help me. I think I've just got to do what I've got to do. I think I've been holding back for a bit too long. For the last week now, I've been doing absolutely nothing.
Have a go.
It's not a serious injury, but it's not good preparation for the championships either. We'll return to James and Caroline's bid for medals later.